So I learned sales and made Charlie Morgan millions of dollars, plus countless other clients that I have worked with personally. And although you may not know who I am, my name is Jack Roberts, and I have been in the high ticket sales space for the past 4 years, and I have trained over 700 business owners on high ticket sales. And in this video, I'm going to show you a 14.8K deal that I closed without getting any objections. And if you want me to release another video where I give you live feedback on what I'm doing and why, get this video to 50 likes and I'll make it happen for you. But with all of that said, enjoy. How is it going, brother? You doing all right?
Yeah, can't complain, man. How about you?
Very good. Very good. Is that an Australian accent I'm picking up on?
That's right. Yeah, well, you're pretty quick with it. There's only a few words I said. You already picked it up. It's impressive. Maybe my oh, I think when I booked in the call, you probably would have seen my country code.
I
I don't know
did.
if that's how you got it, but right.
What time is it over there? Is it like what, like
10 p.m.
8 p.m.? Yeah, cool.
10 p.m. But
10 p.m.
yeah, not the worst.
Cool. Well, look, brother,
I've taken
I appreciate you making the time so late on in the day. Obviously, I know you're not on here to talk to me about Australia or the fact that it's late. You want to figure out if I can help you to increase your close rate and scale up the business. So if you're happy to do so, shall we dive into things and get started?
100%, man. Let's get started.
Yeah, cool. Just quickly to check, are you the sole decision maker for the business?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay, cool.
just me.
Well, look, obviously, I'm sure this is not your first sales call, right? Like you know
Mhm.
how this is going to go. I'm going to ask you some questions about the business. If I can help you, I will tell you I can help you. If I can't, I will point you in the direction of somebody who can. Okay. But obviously, I know we spoke a little bit on Instagram, but I wanted to get a little
Yeah.
bit more clarity. You said that right now you feel like sales is, by the sounds of things, one of the biggest bottlenecks in the business. It's an age-old sales question, but what actually motivated you to want to have a conversation and have a chat with me?
Yeah, 100%, man. So sales is certainly is it used to be the single biggest bottleneck. I suspect it still will be as I do this new launch in the coming weeks slash month. Um, all the other KPIs are going great. Service delivery is dialed in. Um, appointment booking is it's going really nicely because um I'm a coach for a B2C niche. I probably come from a bit of a different background to your typical prospect. So um yeah, I essentially run a B2C transformation style of offer, where it's kind of like high ticket tutoring, where I sell to the parents, I market to the parents, but I deliver the service for the yeah, for the teen, for the child. And um yeah, essentially how the offer works is that instead of just helping with a particular subject in the curriculum, I
Mhm.
help them with developing personal qualities like discipline, like conquering procrastination, and like study skills, etc. So it was a bit of a unique offer, but thankfully, the market is responding very well to it, and I'm getting like appointments for 40, $50. It's like actually pretty sweet. Yeah. So I guess that's part of the reason why I kind of got away with my, I suppose, like somewhat inferior sales skills in the past, just because how easy it is to book appointments with paid ads, just how population dense the niche is. But I really struggled to close at higher prices, and back then I had to, I guess, like shamefully decrease my prices just to um get more get more people in the pipeline, get more people through the door. And I've been getting away with it. In the future, if I want to scale, if I want to do better, I
Mhm.
know that I have to kind of like, partially grow the balls to command higher prices and also have the skills to really close them. Yeah.
Okay, makes sense. Okay,
So
cool.
I was just rambling
No, no,
again.
no, no.
Totally.
I appreciate it. I really appreciate it. Okay, so at the moment, a high ticket tutoring offer, you're selling to the parents in terms of a niche. No, like I'm teaching mathematics or anything specifically. It's more so how to improve as a student as a whole. Just so I have a little bit more clarity on this,
Hmm.
is the end what is the end objective? Is it a case of I'm helping you to develop these skills so that you can get into a better university slash college? What does that look like?
It's certainly centered around just improving the next report card. Because the I guess the demographic I'm helping, it's years 9 to 12. I don't know if in the UK, if you, I think you guys have year 13, is that right? Is that the
Yeah.
final year before
Yeah.
college? Oh yeah, so for us it's up to year 12. So I help exclusively boys actually, which is another kind of unique thing, which again like the market has responded pretty well to this. But yeah, just parents with a son in years 9 to 12, helping them boost their next report card and just improve by not in just one subject, but across the board. Yeah.
Okay, understood. And just so I have a little bit more clarity on this, in terms of your ideal client, could you flesh that out in a little bit
Yeah.
more detail for me? So I'm assuming that they're aged between 16 to 18, they're males. Are they also based exclusively in Australia or?
Yeah, they're based exclusively in Australia because we map everything again to the curriculum over here. I guess my ideal, like my ICP, so to say, it will be like a middle-aged mom, I suppose, because yeah, in most cases, the moms are a lot more, I guess, conscientious when it comes to like the children's education. So it will be, um, yeah, like a middle-aged mom between the ages of 45 to like 55, let's say. That'll be the most typical demographic. So yeah, very much a B2C offer. They're not very, I guess, tech or like marketing savvy. They're not exactly experienced of sales calls. So I guess that's going to be a bit different to some of the B2B calls that you might coach with your other clients.
Okay, makes sense. Okay, makes sense. One more quick question on this one, and then we can push ahead.
Yeah,
Is it the parents who are booking in the sales call, or is it the kids?
that's right. The
Sick.
parents are booking it. Yeah.
Very good.
Obviously the kids won't be able to afford it.
That is very, very good.
Yeah, of
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's explore this in a little bit more detail then. In
course.
terms of sales, what do you feel like is the biggest problem or the biggest bottleneck that's holding you back from performing in the way that you want to?
Um, I'd say it's certainly, to be honest, all areas could be improved from the diagnosis, the pitch, to the objection handling, and just general like report building and being charismatic, and also, I guess, like responding to their responses in real time. All of those things have a lot of room for improvement across the board. But objection handling, I suppose that's the one thing that perhaps the most worried about because I suppose that's like the major part of the sales call where you don't really get control of the rhythm, right? Kind of responding to, I suppose if you're skilled like you, then you might be able to control the rhythm. But for me, like I was very much just reacting, um, to what the prospect is throwing at me.
Okay. Okay, so biggest issue right now is the objection handling piece. Also
Mhm.
concerned around pitching and the discovery.
Yeah.
We'll go into more detail on objection handling in a moment. But in terms of the pitch and in terms of the discovery, why do you feel like you're having issues with that? Is it that you don't have a predictable process? Is it that you've kind of just developed out the discovery and the pitch by yourself, and so you're not sure what to do to improve it? What do you mean by that?
Um, so I did follow a few, I guess like frameworks slash templates for these high ticket sales calls. I actually, so like I'm sure you might be aware of Sam Ovens Consulting Accelerator. So way back when he was selling that, that was like way before I even started in entrepreneurship. But I happened to pirate his program off like a pretty outdated website because I know that was one of the like most prominent, I guess, like programs in the high ticket info space back then. And yeah, I kind of learned from his sales process, which was already quite enlightening as I was like learning the theory behind conversion, behind like um right, the different stages, different phases of a sales call. But I guess really executing that in practice, um, it's it's not like I wouldn't say I'm horrible at things like diagnosis and like the line of questioning because that's I can actually follow a proper script, follow a proper structure. But I feel like I sometimes find it hard to strike a balance between
I know what you mean.
following the structure, not deviating from the structure, but also not being too scripted, like not just having cookie cutter questions that I throw at every single prospect because sometimes they might tell me something that's kind of unique about their situation. I do want to build on that, but I don't want to like ramble on too much just off that tangent, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Perfect. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Okay, when it comes to the objection handling side of things, then,
Mm.
what are the main objections that keep coming up on your sales calls?
Um, I'd say because how I deliver the service, it's through it's very much similar to um like a lot of other info offers out there. So there's like a quite an extensive online training program, which
Mhm.
is like over 10 hours. I do group coaching as well. I do some like one-on-one check-ins like via text, like via messaging and set up platform by students. But I guess most parents who seek out these like tutoring services for their kids, they're more expecting like constant one-on-one calls and people who charge by the hour. People who charge like, 50, $60 an hour. Obviously that's very different to what I'm doing. So I guess I'm just overcoming the objection of them wanting just more personalized, like one-on-one support.
Mhm.
But I'm sure there's like a way around it because if they were looking for just the same as every other solution, they probably wouldn't be booking in a call with me. And they've like told me that as well because they've tried tutors, they've tried like other, I guess like more traditional help in that niche, but it hasn't worked out too well for them. Yeah, but I guess just don't know how you'd categorize this. It's not like logistics. Maybe it has to do like features, how I'm presenting the features of my service.
Okay.
Um,
So to
yeah.
me, it sounds like you're getting product objections, you're getting value objections, and you're getting,
Mm.
to an extent, fear objections. Would you say that that's accurate?
Yeah, so that's quite accurate. Yeah.
Yeah. One other thing that I want to explore is, do you find that you're getting partner objections, right? Because by the sounds of things, the mum is coming onto the call, that it's a conversation about the kid. I'm assuming a lot of the time they're saying, sounds good. I
Mm-hmm.
need to go
Mm.
away and speak to my partner before I can push ahead with this. Is that kind of what is happening on these sales calls?
That's happened. Yeah, that has happened in the past. Yeah, sometimes it's like, oh, I want to talk to my son to see if he feels like this will be a good fit for him. So, that's why for the upcoming launch, I'm planning to yeah, still market to the same demographic, the mother, and I'll make it a requirement for the appointment that the student should also be present since they're the one actually receiving the coaching, receiving the help from me. Um,
Okay, cool.
but yeah, but even despite that, yeah, even after I do that, I suspect this probably will still be partner objections since the dad is probably also around.
Okay, cool. So, by the sounds of things, you've tried to do some things to
Mm.
improve your sales conversion rate. Your Instagram bio makes a lot more sense to me now, knowing that you've been through Sam Ovens' product. Obviously, I'm very familiar with that side of things because I was Charlie Morgan's top closer. But what I want to get a little bit more clarity on is, in terms of what you've tried in the past, why do you feel like maybe that hasn't already got you to where you want to be?
Mm. Um, to be honest, Jack, I think the biggest thing is probably just volume because I haven't. Maybe I could crack this if I just really hammer it in, so to speak, just doing more calls and like using just pure volume and pure like iteration to get better at this. But uh, I do feel like it's absolutely worth it in in my circumstance to I guess I just invest in more training from someone who's like really an expert at this, just so yeah, just so I can like, accelerate the learning curve. You know what I mean?
And I know this may seem like a really, really stupid question, okay, but having done over 2,000 calls, I know that it's different for everybody. Why
Why?
for you does it make sense? Genuine question. Why does it
Mm,
make sense for you to get help instead of just doing it yourself? And again, I know you've alluded that to an extent, but could you just
mhm.
elaborate a little bit more?
Yeah, for sure. I think yeah, big part of it is just accelerating the learning curve from like a strategic, like long-term perspective. So this is a skill that I know like the skill ceiling is like infinitely high. Obviously, it's if I want to like have a good business and like really have long-term success, this is bound to be a skill that I need to develop um sooner or later over time. And plus, I guess like a more short-term or a more like personal slash like maybe like less strategic but more like emotional kind of reason is that um I want to like make make future sales calls as painless as possible, like just like decrease the chaos and the I guess the struggle that I might have in dealing with them. Because the way that I go about things is I really like to use foresight to like plan things out, which I guess to an extent like it becomes impossible in business because obviously there's a lot of chaos
Mhm.
that we all have to deal with. But for things like dialing into offer, dialing into general just positioning in a pretty like commoditized market, because tutoring is a very commoditized market over here. But actually like um kind of creating a unique offer that hasn't really been done in the past and like building out a funnel, dialing in positioning and stuff. It's all working out really well. All the KPIs is actually it's all great, and how my prospects have resonated with, I guess, the messaging I'm putting out there is all paid off. It's those are going well. It's just sales is the one thing where, I guess you can plan out. You can use some foresight in advance to like plan out the script and stuff, but it's very much in the moment performance, and that's something that I know that is a weak point of mine, like relatively speaking.
Okay.
So
Okay. This
yeah.
is all making so much more sense. Okay, perfect.
Mm.
All right, let's talk a little bit more about the numbers then. You said that you're happy with how things are going right now, appointment booking wise. How many appointments are you currently booking per week?
When I've turned off the ads at the moment, but back then I was booking around maybe like two or three a day, so like 15, 20 a week. And at that point it was actually like because back then I wasn't doing sorry if I ramble on too
No.
much. I'll just give you like a bit more context about like yeah what I've done. So like my very first launch, it was very much like um yeah just like info product plus group coaching um plus some like one-on-one accountability check-ins. And because that what those weren't one-on-one like video calls or one-on-one sessions, I had a lot of objections around the product.
Mhm.
So for my second launch, I transitioned back to like one-on-one one-on-one coaching, even though I knew it wasn't going to be scalable and it wasn't going to like be something that was to do long term. But I just wanted to see if I can actually get clients on board, if I can actually still sign some people, even if as like unscalable or as like unglamorous the process may be. Yeah. So at that point, since I was doing one-on-one delivery, I actually like ran out of time to I had appointments coming in, but I just didn't have time to like I guess like fulfill to even take on new clients.
Okay.
So
Uh,
I guess this is the yeah, sorry, you go.
and I'm assuming this time around, because obviously it's going to happen again, probably later
Yeah.
down the line. But I'm
Yeah.
assuming that one of the objectives that you have then is also to get a closer in place so that you can free up your time and focus more on high leverage, asymmetrical leverage activities.
Getting a close on board, I think that won't happen for quite a long time. Just because I don't intend to do like one-on-one kind of like fulfillment or one-on-one coaching with my students in the long run. That was just for like a previous launch, just to again like see whether like I can actually get people to like transact money with me and actually get people on board. Um, but in the future, I do want to like still maintain like the info product
Mhm.
plus group coaching delivery model. Um, I'm pretty sure like I can. There's got to be some way to like get around the objections around that. It's not really. I think it's just yeah, just like a skill issue on my end. I think it's very much solvable.
Yeah.
Um,
So
just need to be prepared to solve it.
at the moment, obviously, you're not booking any appointments. I know that you're due to launch
Yeah,
in the coming, let's call it a month to 6 weeks, right? To give you time
that's
to
fair. Yeah,
recover. Yeah.
yeah. Hmm.
just so I have clarity, in terms of the next 4 to 6 weeks, what does that look like? What are you waiting on to get in place to get to the stage where you are ready to launch the business?
Just refining my like delivery process. So what happens when a client actually jumps on board, and just so like the fulfillment isn't full of chaos, and also writing up a new VSL, filming it, and then just launching the ads. It shouldn't take when I say like 1 or 2 months, well, 2 months definitely overshooting it. I should be able to get it done within the next like 3 to 4 weeks, if I'm being honest.
Okay, cool. Let's continue diving into the numbers then. So,
Yeah.
in terms of your sales conversion rate previously, what was your sales conversion rate?
Um, I actually didn't get any clients on board for the first launch. So that was I took like 7 calls.
Mhm.
Yes, around 7 calls. A few of them were pretty like were they were kind of on the edge. They weren't like no one just like no straight up. They were having hesitations. They were having doubts. They were wanting more clarification, but I guess I wasn't able to provide that. So I got quite discouraged after that. Waited a while. The second launch I actually closed like I think like 8 out of 10 calls, but that's only because I uh dropped my price to almost like embarrassingly low um standard, and also I was offering like one-on-one coaching,
Mhm.
yeah, which is I guess a delivery mode that they were more familiar with. Yeah.
So, what do you anticipate? I know it's so difficult to say, but what do you anticipate your close rate to be this time around?
Um, Hopefully, I mean, anything will be an improvement at this rate, right? But I guess since for the second launch, I was a lot more like I knew that the I wasn't going to get as many product objections, so I was I guess a lot calmer, a lot less anxious going into those calls. So um, but I suppose like I changed up the delivery model partially to like avoid the discomfort of having to face a lot of these objections. So that's how I guess got some experience with dealing with like pitch, diagnosis, all that.
Mhm.
But I guess like objection handling, it's still going to be the bottleneck.
So,
Um,
by the sounds of things, you think it's going to be pretty low, like what, 10%, 5%?
yeah, probably something like that. Yeah, depending on how where I set my prices and how I do my
Okay,
yeah.
okay, cool. So, all right, realistically,
Hmm.
what would you like for your sales conversion rate to be?
Um, Realistically, I think like 20% would be 25% would be a
Mhm.
pretty good like medium term goal to have. I know some people say that the founder of an offer should be converting at around like 30 to 40% ideally. I
Mhm.
guess I heard that like before I started doing any sales course. That was when I was still in the very early stages. I guess that kind of set my expectations maybe a bit too high. I was expecting, oh, surely since I'm the founder, I'm sure should just be automatically converting at 30 to 40%. Obviously, that's just fantasy land, and there's a lot of roadblocks along the way.
Okay, so we want to get to 25%. Let's go
Yeah,
25%.
sure.
All right, cool. In terms of your ticket price, what are you planning to charge your clients to work with you?
Plan to charge around 3,000 uh
AUD.
Australian dollars AUD. So that'll be around yeah, so like so basically around 2K USD, which I know is like definitely on the low end for high ticket offers. Um, but I suppose like that'll be a good starting point. If I can't even close at that price point, then it'll be it's like quite stupid of me to like raise prices further. But I'll just like yeah, getting started and perhaps ramp it up from there.
So the objective is to start at 3K, and then by the
Yeah,
sounds of things, as time goes by, you get more predictability in terms of sales to increase the price, right? Okay.
100%. Yeah.
So I know that you're not running the business right now, but in
Mm.
terms of income that's coming in, that could be, I don't know, even if you have past clients that you're still working with, it could be from 9 to 5. what does that look like at the moment? How much are you making per month right now?
Um, so I'd say around 8K AUD. Um, from my full-time job because I I'm also like working full-time even though I work remotely most of the times. But vast majority of my effort is very much spent on the business, hoping to use that to replace my full-time income and go beyond as of like most entrepreneurs, I guess. But yeah, around 8K AUD. So like USD, I'm not sure how much that will be divided by 1.5.
About 6K, 5.5K.
Mm.
Okay, cool. That makes sense.
Yeah.
And just a little side note, in terms of your 9 to 5, what do you do?
Um, I'm a tech consultant at one of the big four consulting firms.
Cool.
Yeah.
Which makes sense, ties into the whole offer thing because you have the proof is in the pudding, right? Okay,
Proof
cool.
is in the pudding.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay. So you're sitting at 8K right now.
Mm.
In the next 6 months, again, realistically, how
Yeah.
much do you want to be making per month with the business?
If I could crack uh 15 to 20K, I think 15K will be maybe a bit conservative. 20K will be awesome. During my second launch, I was in a position where I could like easily ramp it up to 10K, like AUD per month. Even though like that'll be my time will be fully occupied and that'll be kind of where I'm capped with my time. But I wanted to it was quite tempting, like it was quite tempting to just like ramp up the ad spend and reach that elusive number. But thinking long term, like without doing like constant one-on-one calls, instead focusing on group coaching. I know at the start it's going to be harder to sell. It's going to be harder to sell that.
Okay.
But long term wise, I know that's yeah.
Okay, 20K objective. Again, I know we've dived into this in a little bit of depth. I also know that this is an age-old sales question, but I am interested to know, right? Because I work very closely with every single person who comes into the product. What
Yeah.
is ultimately the motivation behind all of this? Because by the sounds of things, you've got a pretty good job, right? Why is it that you want to scale the business to 20K per month?
Partially, like I guess short term wise, it's definitely autonomy. And it's ownership, being able to look at something and say, right, this is mine. Like I created this, and this is like the manifestation of, I guess, like my potential, or like my what I have to offer to the world. Uh, as corny as it might sound, but like it's genuinely like that'll be a much more fulfilling life than just being a corporate drone, really. Even though right now, lifestyle wise, like it's not nothing glamorous, like nothing too special, but not really struggling, and I don't think my standards of living would change too much. No matter like what number I really hit, but it's yeah, mainly for manifesting my own potential and just for personal fulfillment.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. It's a case of almost pursuing a bit more purpose, which makes a lot of sense to me as well. Okay, perfect. Okay, so right now you're at 8K. The goal is for you to get to 20K per month.
Yeah.
And I'm a little bit hesitant to ask this.
That's all right.
How realistically, how close do you feel like you are to getting to that point by yourself? With your understanding of sales at the moment, the sales process you have, how realistic do you feel like that is at the moment?
Oh, if I can't crack sales, not realistic at all. If I can crack sales, I'm pretty confident about other aspects. So I guess it's just a matter of how confident I am at figuring out the sales part by myself. Not really confident, I gotta say, Jack. That's why I'm here. Because like the Sam Ovens sales framework, I know like Charlie also like borrowed a lot of his like Sam's teachings in his kind of framework. Even though I wasn't part of never was part of Easy Grow, um but the theory is great. I have a great like theoretical understanding. I feel like I know I know enough to know like what I'm doing wrong, but that's why how can I actually do it correctly? Do it correctly, not just in theory, but performing in the moment. Um,
Yeah. Okay.
that is, yeah, it's definitely the thing that I'm struggling with.
I have maybe two more questions for you. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, do you feel like now actually is the right time for you to get help with sales? And that's a genuine question because I know you're thinking about the launch at the same time. Is it a
Mm.
case of Jack, actually, I would rather launch the business than tackle the problem? Or is it a case of I would actually prefer to strategize and be a little bit prepared and then know once I've put in all of this hard work developing out my service delivery that when these calls are coming in, I'm immediately going to start making money. So do you feel like now is the right time to actually get help with sales?
Yeah, really appreciate you asking that, Jack. I'd say, yeah, for sure. I mean, now if you're talking about immediately, since I don't really have any sales calls coming in just yet, I'll probably be in next 3 or 4 weeks. Well, won't be too long or too far away, but I think now will be a good time to like upskill, like we mentioned, bring out like exchange on Instagram. Uh, yeah, I think it's definitely good to be prepared before the launch. I like maybe strategically it's not sure if it's strategically optimal. Maybe it's like strategically optimal just to swim in the chaos and like handle it in the moment, handle it when once it comes. But I guess I like to just be prepared. I guess it also depends on. I know we're not getting to that yet, but I suppose it also depend on the general like delivery model. Because I guess if it's like group coaching and like a program, I guess I can sit in and listen at my own pace and like go through it during this interim as I'm preparing for the launch.
Mhm.
If you work like one-on-one closely with every client that comes on board, then perhaps like it would be best to wait like 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah.
Okay, cool. On this front, the whole reason why I'm asking is because I guess there's like two different camps of people. There's some
Mm,
people who would rather wait until, as you said, like the chaos comes and then tackle the chaos as it's there.
mm.
And then there's some people who are more in the camp of, I'd rather prepare myself. That way, I'm not wasting money on booking appointments that I'm not going to
Yeah,
use. I'm not also
yeah,
having to struggle with having all of these sales calls in my calendar whilst also trying to learn sales at the same time. So, am I right in thinking that you're kind of leaning more towards the camp of being prepared rather than just, I guess, being reactive and hoping that you manage to just make your way through the mud? Is that correct?
yeah. You're quite right. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Very last question that I have for you is what is the main thing or the main two things that you would really want to get out of working with someone like myself? Obviously, I know that the answer is Jack, I want to increase my sales conversion rate and I want to make more money. But just to be a little bit more specific, what does that look like for you?
Um, I I'd say like I'd really love to learn like your specific style of sales. I guess I haven't. I mean, I told you about why I booked the call in the first place, but I also didn't mention like how I why I booked a call with you out of like all the different sales trainers on the internet. So um yeah, as I said, I wasn't part of EasyGrow, but I have been following Charlie for a long time, and he's really loved what he's like. He has helped me a lot. Just his like free YouTube videos that's taught me so much about getting started in entrepreneurship, and just he's I guess like a um like not a mentor who I've bought a course from, like who I've like actually bought from, but he's still like probably my single biggest mentor just like from watching his YouTube videos. And consider joining EasyGrow, but from my understanding, it's more like outbound systems, it's more like outbound for like B2B services when you do cold email and stuff like that, cold calls, which doesn't really apply for like my niche. I mean, maybe it's possible, but the KPIs are great for ads, so focusing on that. I have a friend who is an agency owner. He is an easy grower, and he's telling me about how, oh yeah, the sales training, like there's this guy called like Jack Roberts. He's like the goat. He's like super good at what he does, and I was like, oh wow, okay, that's interesting. And he like um gave me a sneak peek into what the like sales modules and easy grow is like as well. Looks pretty similar to Sam Ovens' framework, understandably, because I guess like it's like the cycle of mentorship. Like Sam mentored Charlie, and now he's has his own program. And just seeing all the testimonials online, even some of the testimonials that like Charlie was posting on his like Instagram account, a lot of it is actually like when it comes to sales, people are saying, "Oh, Jack Roberts is like so good at sales coaching." I was like, "Wow, okay, this guy must be the goat." So, like, yeah. So here I am.
Okay,
This
this
makes
makes
That's
sense.
sense.
my story.
Just
Quickly
quickly,
as a side note, who is this person who's singing my praises? Who is this?
Um, oh, his name is Sam. Sam Chen. I don't know if
Sam Chan.
yeah.
Yeah, I do. Okay, cool. Yeah. Okay, beautiful. All right, brother. Well, look, I do not have any other questions. I just want to check, are you good for time? Because we're running a little bit late. I have all the time in the world for you. I just wanted to check if that's the case on your side as well.
Oh, I have all the time in the world as well. It's not too late. Perfect.
Well, look, bro, I
DM.
really appreciate you putting up with my grueling police interrogation. I mean this. You are absolutely perfect for this. Like genuinely, when I dive
Mm,
into this, you are going to love it. And there's quite a few different reasons why. First reason is obviously I have been trained on Sam Ovens frameworks. I have been
yeah.
trained on Charlie's frameworks. I was Charlie's first ever employee. I was mentored directly by him. So I spent a lot of time learning how to think like him. The way that I consider this is the easy grow of sales. The level of depth that I go into is absolutely insane. And I know for a fact if you go through this with ease, you will get to 20K. I really do mean that. Okay.
Mm,
Now, I'm not going to lie to you though. You do have a few different problems on your hands. Okay. It seems like you don't
mm,
really understand how to handle objections, how to pre-handle objections. You don't have a
yeah.
predictable process in place for pitching, for discovery. Most importantly, as well, this whole concept that you've talked about being flexible in your sales calls is something that
Mm,
I'm so big on. So, as you can probably tell, I am very, very excited to dive into this. So, are you happy for me to share my screen with you and show you how all of this works? Is that right?
100%, man. Excited.
Beautiful. So, just to check, can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay,
I
cool.
can see it.
So, for you specifically, here is the game plan. You know how you mentioned you're struggling with objection handling, you're struggling with pitching, you're struggling with discovery, you're struggling with having a flexible structure that you can use to consistently start closing more deals. To fix that, what I'm going to do is take you through a really simple three-pillar process that will allow you to leverage proven scripts and proven processes so that you can go from this point where you're making 8K and working your 9 to 5 all the way to the
Mm,
point where bare minimum, and I really mean this, I will be upset if you only get to 20K per month with this product. Really mean this, okay? Now, again, you're going to love this. Pillar one is all about shifting your paradigms and arming you with the understanding and the scripts that you need to become an absolute sales demon. And by this, I am talking about the literal cream of the crop. I will show you
mm,
how to isolate objections. I will show you how to eliminate objections. I will show you how to navigate the objection handling phase so predictably and so effortlessly that within the first month of you launching your product, without question, you will be making more money. And I get it. I am a salesperson. This is exactly what I'm supposed to tell you, right? But it's backed by evidence. Prime example is Josiah. He came into the product, and in the space of 30 days, he went from 30 to 60K because we doubled his close rate. Another prime example of this is Xander. He came into the product. In the space of 60 days, he went from 20 to 80K because we quadrupled his sales conversion rate. One last
mm,
thing that I also want to talk about with Xander, which is really important to you. When I first started working with him, he was charging 5K to sell his info product offer. By the time I had
mm.
finished working with him, he was charging 15K. Okay.
God.
Well, I know, again, with this whole pricing thing, you will have the confidence you need to crush these deals. And the reason
Mm,
why I have confidence as well is because I'm going to show you how to handle every single objection under the sun. These are not short videos. I'm not going to shortchange you. Okay. I will
mm.
teach you how to handle the money objection, how to handle partner objections, how to handle fear objections. There is over 15 hours worth of content exclusively teaching you how to handle objections alone so that you can get to 25% sales conversion rate. If that is not good enough for you, there is also over 50 pages worth of proven scripts that you can use on
Wow.
your calls to start turning a no into a no brainer yes. And the very last thing, even though I know it's a lot of information to absorb, the very last thing is I'm also going to give you access to an entire post pitch process that I developed out from Sam Ovens frameworks, from Charlie's frameworks. All of this has been built upon those foundations and made better so that
Yeah.
before you even drop the price, you can pre handle a lot of objections and again get to that 20K mark even faster. Okay. But that's pillar one. Long story short, in the first 4 weeks, you will put yourself into a position where you fundamentally understand how sales work. So you're no longer reactive and you have scripts you can use to start closing consistently. Is all of this making sense so far?
It sounds beautiful, man. Yeah, that's way exceeded my expectations. Because even like Sam Ovens, his like 2.5 hour video on this theory behind sales, that was already like super valuable. Didn't know it could get even deeper than that. Yeah, you have 16 hours just on different types of objections. It's yeah, something great. Okay.
Perfect. So by the sounds, it seems like you feel like this will help. I guess the question
Yeah.
I have is, where do you feel like this could potentially help you the most? Because I know you were concerned around the objection handling piece.
Hmm. Um. Yeah, feeling definitely more hope when we're looking at yeah the whole arsenal that you have here. We'll be keen to dive into all of that.
Okay, perfect. And I guess what questions do you have for me about pillar one?
Um. Like I suppose the 50 like the big Notion doc that we have here on the side. Just curious, like are those is that like one particular format that you like to follow for your scripts, or the scripts that you recommend to your clients, or is this like several variations or different types of scripts that could be used? It sounds it's like a lot of stuff in here.
This is a really good question. So this is like the perfect representation of what you're talking about, where you want to find this balance between
Mm,
being flexible but also not sounding robotic, right?
yeah.
So to answer your initial question, are there different variations? Yes, for sure. For example, with the fear objection, there's one, two, three, four, five, six, seven different variations of what I'm giving you on how to handle this objection. Even within
Mm,
this, I'm giving you if this, then that situations. So if this happens, then you do that. If this happens, then you do this. Okay. But the
mm,
biggest thing that I am heavy on, and again, why I have so much confidence that you're going to love this, is I'm
mm,
teaching you why we are doing these things. Okay. It's great to have the scripts, but I
yeah.
want you to fundamentally understand why we are doing these certain things so that you can consistently close at 25, 30, 35, 40%. Because with
Mm,
that fundamental understanding, you will no longer be reactive on the calls. Does that give you a little bit more clarity? Does that answer the question that you are asking?
yeah, 100%, man. I appreciate that. Yeah.
Fantastic. What other questions do you have for me, or should we dive into pillar two?
Sounds great so far. Yeah, let's check out
Yeah.
the next pillar.
Cool. So pillar two is all about, in fact, I can jump out of this for a second.
Mhm.
Pillar two
Two.
is all about the one-on-one support that I'm going to give you. Okay. So there's multiple different elements of this. Now I can and I could just give you access to a whole module on pitching and a whole module on discovery, and then get you to sit down and try and write out your own pitch and get you to try and write out your own discovery. It's tough. You need to do that properly. You need a lot of experience. And so what you will get with me is hours worth of one-on-one sessions where I will literally sit down with you and help you to rewrite your entire pitch. I will help you to rewrite your entire discovery. I can even help you to write out specific objection handling tracks for your offer so that you know that they are going to land. So you know you can bypass these value objections, these product objections, these partner objections, these fear objections. Okay. So that's one piece of what you will get from the one on one. On
Mm,
top of this, you will also get access to 5 coaching calls that take place every single week. And I
Mm.
have severely overcooked this because sales is not like appointment booking. I need to sit down and listen to your sales calls for at least a good 20 minutes to be able to give you valuable feedback. And so on these coaching calls, there will only ever be a maximum of 5 people. If there's more than
Okay.
that, I will start adding more calls. Okay. But pillar
Right.
2 is all about the one on one support I'm going to give you and also how I will help you with your discovery and with your pitch to ensure that you get to that 20K and that you start closing at 25%. Is all of this making sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, cool. Again, do you feel like this will help?
Yeah, 100%. But want to be super honest with you, Jack. I know how incredibly valuable that's going to be. Um, but at the same time, I understand that given the level of personal involvement that you're giving, don't know if it's going to be within my budget. Let's hope that it is. But I guess we'll get to that. We'll
Okay,
get to
good.
that later,
I
anyways.
think you'll be fine. You don't, I wouldn't worry about that. I haven't, it's very, very rare that people have issues on that side of things. I think you'll be
Okay.
relatively fine. Okay, so don't stress. But just before we dive into pillar 3, I guess what questions do you have for me regarding what we've dived into thus far?
So for the one-on-one support from you, would that be on like a regular basis, or would it just be?
Right, so you can use that whenever you want to make use of that. Obviously, again, as I said, you get
Mm.
access to the product for 12 months. So if you
Mhm.
don't want to start using the one-on-one sessions for a month, you don't have to. You don't want to wait.
Mm.
You don't want to start using them for 2 months, 3 months. It's completely up
Mm.
to you.
Hmm,
Does that give you a little
beautiful.
bit more clarity? Yeah.
Yep, sounds great.
Cool. What other questions do you have for me on this front, or are you happy to push ahead?
Um, so just checking out the group calls. They are recorded, right? Just in case, yeah, my time zone makes it difficult.
Oops, I actually didn't want to stop sharing that. So, good question. So, all of the coaching calls are recorded. Okay. The other
Great.
thing is, I have specifically got these slots on a Tuesday and on a
Mm.
Thursday for you guys, for those of you who are based out in Australia, because I know
Oh,
it's a nightmare if you're trying to make it to a coaching call that's at like 1 a.m. in the morning. So these slots are dedicated specifically to you guys in Australia.
I appreciate that, man. Our time zone is pretty shit. Pretty segregated.
Yeah. Okay, let's dive into the final pillar, unless you have any other questions on this front.
So far, so good.
All good? Okay, cool. So the final pillar is all about tying everything up and making sure that when you have these foundations in place, you're not losing deals when you don't need to. So that, again,
Mm.
there's a whole module dedicated purely to the closing phase of the process. Okay. So how
Oh.
to go about ensuring that when you do get a yes, that it's a solid yes, how to avoid any issues that you may face around payments to ensure that you're not losing the deal at the final hurdle. But on top of this, I will also give you access to my call recordings. So you can see exactly what it is that I am doing on my sales calls to convert and make sure that I'm closing consistently so that you can start seeing the gaps between where you are and where you want to be. Okay. But long story short, I really do mean this. And in fact, last time I will share my screen, I really do mean this. Okay. I have been an agency owner myself. I am
Mm.
now an info product owner myself, and I have been a closer. I understand. I've worked with over 1,000 people who've been in your position, did all of the coaching calls for Charlie for 2 years. I get it. It's tough. Like it's really tough. You're putting money into making sure that you're booking appointments. You're putting time every single day into making sure that you're growing the business whilst you're also working another job. I will not let you fail. I really won't. And that's the reason why I go into so much detail on this, because I think that you deserve, if you've got this level of ambition and you're meeting it with action, to get the help that you need to ensure that you get to where you want to be. Okay. But that is how it works. How do you feel about the process and the structure specifically?
It's definitely exceeded my expectations, and yeah, seems really good. I genuinely mean this. It seems really good.
Okay, cool. And by the sounds of things, you feel like it will help. I guess what specifically about the process makes you feel like this would be able to help you to get to where you want to be with the business?
I suppose the how much nuance, how much detail you dive into in regards to the objection handling phase. That's yeah, that didn't know it would be possible to have this much nuance just on the concept of objection handling. But um, yeah, I'm definitely expecting to have my mind blown in regards to that, and also the different module on closing. I guess that's another thing that I was always quite unsure about. Because I heard that after you handle an objection, you don't want to just handle it. You want to loop it back through the close, and you want to like sometimes like oh the prospect agrees, but something messes up when you're trying to hand the payment, or maybe they just get cold feet
Yeah.
last minute. So I've never seen anyone else start into this much nuance
Yeah.
across those phases.
Yeah.
And that is literally what this entire module is about. It's literally showing you when to make the ask, what signs you are looking for to understand, is it the right time to make the ask? Is it not the right time to make the ask? When you should be pulling back, when you should be pushing ahead. You will have crystal clear clarity on this side of things, I can assure you. Okay. What questions do you have for me about the process, about the structure specifically, that you might not have asked already?
I don't really think of one question, Jack. So, I know that B2B versus B2C sales calls are quite, definitely have more similarities than differences, but there are like subtle differences in their nature. So, considering that you work mostly with probably agency owners and other like B2B consultants, how applicable would you say some of these frameworks are to like a B2C setting?
Heavily applicable. Because when I was closing for Charlie, yes, technically I was selling to agency owners, but a lot of the time I was selling to young guys. I was selling to 18-year-olds. I was selling to 19-year-olds. I was selling to 20-year-olds who didn't have a business. And it was what we call it in this space is B2 wannabe. They were B2C. You are 100% right.
B2 wannabe. The first time I heard that's pretty good. And I was like, oh, like the biz op niche.
Yeah.
B2 wannabe. Oh, it's good.
That is B2C. Now, the key difference between B2B and B2C is that B2C sales is a lot more emotional, B2B sales is a lot more logical, right? B2C
Yeah.
sales is way easier than B2B sales. But with everything that you're getting in this product, it's built on this foundation of me having experience selling to B2C, selling to people who literally have like $1,000 in their bank account, all the way up to selling to people who are already making 100K. And so I can tell you with absolute certainty, it won't be an issue. I can show you case studies of people who are doing B2C if you'd like me to, if that would give you a little bit more clarity on that side of things.
Oh, I believe you, man. Don't worry.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
What other questions do you have for me about the process, about the structure that we might not have dived into?
So you say it's 12 months access to the product. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah.
Perfect. Okay. I think it sounds really good to me.
Okay, cool. Very last question that I have for you, and then we can kind of push ahead into the investment side of things is, it seems like you have a pretty good understanding of the process and structure, but just so I can, I guess, get a level of understanding of your understanding on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being, Jack, honestly, this looks perfect. Like if I had this in place with the volume of calls I know I'm going to be booking, I know I'm going to get to that 20K, and 1 being, honestly, I don't really feel like this is the right thing for me. Where would you say that you land on that scale?
I'd say it has to be a 10. I do mean that.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Well, look, brother, if you have any other questions, let me know. But otherwise, we can push ahead into the investment.
Sure, let's jump in.
Yeah. Okay, cool. So for me to get you to the point, again, bare minimum, I really do mean this. I will be upset if you only get to the stage. But for me to get you to the point where you are making 240,000 Australian dollars a year, the total investment in AUD is 14.8K. Okay. And for that, you get access to all of the scripts, 50 pages worth of scripts. You get access to all of the objection handling training. You get hours worth of one-on-one training directly with me for me to help you with your pitch, with your line of questioning, plus access to all the other modules and 5 coaching calls that take place per week. That is how it works. How does that land with you?
I think I can handle it. It's more hefty sum than I had expected, but um I also didn't expect um the one-on-one access that you provide. So I guess that's something that really exceeded my expectations. Um,
Okay.
but just in terms of yeah, no, just in terms of like the pay, like, would you happen to offer payment plans because it's going to be difficult
Of course, bro.
in one go. But
I wanna do this in a way where
mm,
I can put you in the best position possible to
mm,
actually get to this 20K, right?
yes,
But there needs to be a certain level of discomfort because then that's going to push you to work. But I don't want to put
mm.
you in the position where, you're eating bread and
Let's hope not.
so
Yeah.
in terms of the 14.8, is it a case of that's just not liquid right now? Or what do I don't want to pry too much, but what do the finances look like at the moment?
It's just yeah, it's not liquid at the moment.
Okay.
Because I also happen to have a mortgage. So that's eating up a lot of most of my liquidity. Uh,
Congratulations, and also not
I
congratulations, but yeah, congratulations.
yeah, I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Um, long story, but yeah, could barely afford it.
Okay, cool.
But
Robert,
anyways, yeah.
I'm more than happy to break this down into something that will be more manageable for you. Again, because
Mhm,
I'm very, very confident I can get you to where you want to be.
mhm,
So you're making 8K on a monthly
mhm,
basis at the moment. After
mhm.
expenses, etc., what does that leave you with?
Um, After like tax deductions, after expenses, I'd say it leaves me with around um three to yeah 3 to 4K.
About 3 to 4K. And is that also including, you paying your mortgage and you also covering, bills, etc.? What does
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's including like that. Yeah.
And again, I don't want to pry too much. In terms of savings, roughly, what does that look like as well?
Um, Roughly um around 7K at the moment. Around 7K. Okay.
So
That I'm like willing to like or like ready to comfortably um yeah comfortably like allocate to this without it really
creating problems.
causing any major issues yeah for like other liabilities
Okay, cool.
down the line.
So we can do two different things, and you let me know
Yeah.
which one works best for you.
Okay.
I can break this down into two payments of 7.4
Hmm.
AUD, or I can break this into three payments of 4.9 AUD. And just to be super clear on how this would work, so it would be either 7.4 or 4.9 today, and then it
Hmm.
would be 7.4 in a month's time. Or if we're going the 3 pay option, it would be 4.9 today, 4.9 in a month's time, 4.9 in another month's time. Out of those two options, which one would you like to do?
I think the 3 times 4.9
Yeah,
would be yeah that'll be much appreciated.
cool. And when you
Yeah,
say 4.9, does that mean, yeah, let's do this?
let's do it.
Yeah. Okay. I'm very, very excited to welcome you into the product. And I'm also very much looking forward to working closely with you.